Welcome to another test chamber, everyone. We're playing a little known game. Actually, you've probably seen these words for a while. It's called Press Start. It's kind of like that band, Free Beer that you always see in every city. This is The Cave from Double Fine Productions. I'm your host, Andrew Reiner. I got Matt Miller here.
Hey, Reiner, how's it going?
Good. You played the game for us and completed it numerous times, I hear.
Yeah, a couple times.
And then we also have Kyle Hilliard here who's going to be helping us play the game.
Hey, I'm looking forward to playing. Haven't played yet, so I'm excited.
Because it's always difficult to play and talk at the same time, especially in these puzzle games.
It is tricky. Well, we're being introduced right now to The Cave, the actual personage that is The Cave. The Cave narrates the game, and he's a not-so-malevolent presence that's constantly communicating with you. And you kind of learn a little bit more about The Cave as you go through, and there's some things that just remain mysterious about The Cave, even at the end.
So it's kind of like the island in Lost, right?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of alive, not really, but you're in it and interacting with it, and weird stuff's happening.
I think actually the island in Lost is a really good comparison for what The Cave kind of is. You're never totally sure what it's all about and why all these characters have been brought together, but they're all going to journey through the cave.
So do cast members just kind of get kicked off for no good reason that they never tell you?
Yeah, that's right. Actually, the 7 characters here, you choose 3 of them as the game starts.
So Kyle picked the hillbilly, which makes
who it
sense.
just started with. So you
use the D-pad, go back and forth between the ones that are shown on the screen right now, and you have a little while to kind of see all their animations and things before you make a decision.
Impatient, aren't we?
You can kind of see the Cave is commenting on your quick changes between them because you're not even listening to the narration.
Yeah, it's sort of like Bastion a little bit.
A little bit. There's a little bit of that narration. But obviously you're going to need a crowbar, and this is perhaps the first thing that shows off Ron Gilbert's new approach to adventure games that he's exploring, which is the fact that there's no inventory. You have one item that you can carry at a time per character, and that's it.
And Gilbert, just to give you a little history, worked at LucasArts way back in the day, made a bunch of those great games with Tim Schafer.
Mm-hmm.
Monkey Island, you name it.
And Deathspank, right? That was the last Ron Gilbert kind of...
Yes, that was a different company. This is his first co-venture with Double Fine, and his first kind of reuniting with his old partner in crime, Tim Schafer. Or at least they're at the same company now.
Like the signage here.
Yeah, it's great.
Seriously.
And the game is out now for Wii U, PC, and it comes out tomorrow on 360.
Well, sorry. Today is Wii U and PS3. Tomorrow is PC and 360.
Okay,
I believe. So 4 different SKUs, lots of different ways to try to hop into this game, and it is available to play by yourself or with up to 3 players. We have Kyle playing by himself right now, but if we wanted to, we could have all 3 of us here could be pitching in. The thing about the co-op is that it's all still on one screen. Okay. So if, for instance, if we had 3 characters and the hillbilly was currently selected, then you would follow the hillbilly off screen, and all the other characters would get left behind.
The monk. He seeks his master, so he
I'm guessing I need to bring a couple people over to that.
Yep.
I think I saw a sign for 3 people.
This is our first wait.
No spoilers,
gate.
Kyle, but I think there's a little clue.
This is maybe one of the things that I don't love about the game is that whether you're playing single player or multiplayer, you end up doing the same thing several times over in many instances to bring a group of characters to a particular spot. Now, they do catch up the characters eventually. Like, if you finish a whole section, they'll have your characters run forward and just automatically appear behind the active character. But when you're in the midst of a puzzle, that doesn't happen. And it makes for, kind of slows things down a little bit, especially in a game that already has a pretty decent amount of backtracking and running around through similar-looking corridors.
Gotcha. Well, Kyle, I got to say... all but one character I would have picked. I would have exchanged the hillbilly for the time traveler.
Oh, okay.
The time traveler was one among my first picks and ended up being my favorite designated puzzle section of the game.
And this is why we don't hang out with Kyle Miller.
Well, I'm from the South, so, it's kind of like nostalgic to hang out with hillbillies again.
Yeah, right. Well, the different characters are more than just aesthetic choices. They actually are going to change what the game is. About half of the gameplay ahead and the puzzles that lie ahead are general to every character. So everybody sees them together.
What are these kids
We're just
doing?
listening to the gift shop clerk. He's going to tell us a little bit about what we need to be doing. So we might just have to kind of wait around here until he...
No way. I shudder.
So he's telling you that he needs to have a horrible thing has occurred. There are no trinkets to sell at the cave gift shop.
Oh.
And until that issue is resolved, he's not going to let you go any deeper.
Allowing you fine
So I gotta go find this guy.
Yeah, so you're going to have to go back and find... I think he might have to give you something.
Oh, okay. So I should be more patient, is what you're
I
telling
think
me.
I'm afraid you have to wait just a little
This is
bit.
like a Kojima cutscene here.
Gotcha.
That's right.
Here we go. So what is this power here? What's going
He's
on
giving
there?
you a giant novelty-sized key, and now you can go back to that other area. Now,
great.
so as I was saying, each of the 7 characters has their own kind of special power, right? And you're exploring a little bit the twins' special power of sort of creating this ghostly image, and you'll have to kind of figure out as you continue to play what that can do for you. But the other cool thing that happens is that in addition to the half of the puzzles that lie ahead that are about that anybody can do, there are designated sections that you have to have the particular character that you're playing to do.
Okay.
So if you're playing the hillbilly, for instance, who can hold his breath underwater, there's one section of the cave you can't get into unless you can hold your breath for a really long time.
Wait, can hillbillies do that?
Well, in this game they can.
I don't know. Kyle?
No, that is
true?
true. That's based on fact.
That's actual
I always
fact.
thought they
Yeah,
used
yeah.
the reeds, under the water and just kind of hung out like hunting crocodiles and stuff like that.
So you can kind of run around with any of the 3 characters at this point as you're just kind of exploring this first puzzle. So you can kind of choose your current favorite,
Oh, I see.
whoever that is, and run down and take a look around.
Ooh, there's the monk.
Yeah, that's why I grabbed him.
There is the monk. So if you could figure out how to get over there, you might be able to learn a little bit more about the monk's backstory.
A crank.
A bucket.
So that's not doing much. We've got an empty fuse box and some machines that aren't
New
powered
grog.
currently.
That's a nice little Monkey Island reference.
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly. So it looks like we need a fuse.
Okay. I haven't explored over here yet. There's a lever.
Careful, Kyle. So what happens if Kyle foolishly falls on those spikes?
You can't really die in the cave, and they'll make comment about that once you sort of get up there. But
Is that monk not strong enough?
no, I think there might be something else that needs to happen here.
Okay. I got a crowbar.
Yeah. You
Miller's like, very good, Kyle. Yes, you do have a crowbar.
there is another lever, if you'll recall.
Oh, I do recall.
Put the crowbar in the fuse box.
Oh, look at that.
There you
Okay.
go.
Whoop.
This is characteristic of the kind of puzzles we'll see in the cave moving forward. There's lots of things where you need multiple characters in particular locations.
Lost Vikings.
That's right. So you should ring the bell, see what happens.
Oh, he looks friendly.
Now, I suggest that you jump over there and meet this nice, friendly dog.
Feed the sun to the dog.
Hey, dog. Oh, well, that was.
So as you can see, you can't really die. It's just going to send you back a little ways, but neither can you progress. So you're going to have to figure out how to keep going.
They both have to die. Children coffins.
Now there's an old well, but it looks like it's missing a gear.
Kyle,
yeah,
take the
Reiner?
crank. Can you grab that crank?
Okay.
I don't think it's doing anything. Try to keep on heading up, see if we can find that fuse that we need.
Hey, there it is, right?
Grab the fuse.
Oh.
Oh.
Turn off the power first, Kyle. So this is obviously one little section of the cave. You're underground, rock areas. Is there a lot of variety in the surrounding, or does it all start to kind of look the same?
No, I actually really like the variety in the cave. Each section kind of carves out its own little identity. And you end up going to all sorts of weird places. You go to this sort of weird, twisted carnival at one point. You go to you travel back in time in the time travelers area. You end up on a sort of abandoned island where you've been cast away. So all sorts of kind of weird places you may end up.
So Miller, you said this first puzzle was going to be 10, 15 minutes. Knowing that Kyle is playing, what are you thinking now? Are we talking like a super replay?
No, I think it should be okay. But here, quick, jump back over there to the left. I want to show you one really cool thing. Any character can tap the action button, which is X, I believe, in front of these little symbols on the wall, and we get some backstory into the different characters. So already we can kind of see that these twins, by the look in their eye, are maybe not as like friendly as they first appear to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you'll unlock over the course of the whole game. You'll get a little bit more info about what's going on with those guys.
Is that kind of a collectible? Like you might miss one here or there?
They're pretty, like if you keep an eye out for them, you can usually find them. They're not super hard to find.
It kind of, the Psychonauts kind of had something similar to that, where you would unlock sort of like just visual, just images that would tell story.
Totally.
You know, which were always
I want another Psychonaut so bad.
So can you do anything with that well right now?
No, it didn't look like it. It looks
Is
like
there
I'm
anything? I'm trying to remember here. Go back up the ladder and see if there's anything up there that you can grab.
I don't know, Miller.
There's a rope. Climb the rope.
To be fair, Kyle, I'm not seeing the solution either.
Okay. Well, that makes me feel a little better, at least. I don't think there's anything up here, is there? Some stuff down there that I can't grab, looks like.
Now, one of the things that I'm sort of showing off here about this game is the fact that you do this a lot. You do end up kind of running through corridors a lot and just kind of trying to figure out what the solution is.
But at least you have 3 people that you can kind of have spread out, right?
Yep.
And that is going to kind of suck. You got to get them all back to the point.
You got to pull them all back, and sometimes it's one or the other of them that needs to have a particular item. The only item I currently see at hand is the crowbar.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to put that in a fuse box.
Probably not.
Yeah, I thought I was onto something here with this guy coming out and then sending down this crane. But,
you are onto something. You've got the right idea. That monster is going to come out, but he needs to come out further, right?
Kyle!
No dying in the cave. At least not this soon. So much left for them to learn.
Foreshadowing, maybe.
Maybe if I...
So he's going to need some bait.
Okay.
Hillbilly.
But we still need to figure out how to get that fuse box out.
Postcard display, what's that?
Those are the trinkets I was trying to sell, right?
Postcards are probably not going to do too much for you.
You sure? Okay, yeah, all right. I trust your judgment, Miller. I'm going to leave that postcard behind.
Nothing down there at the bottom of the water.
I like the look of their water.
Yeah, it's pretty, huh? But this is the kind of searching you're doing a lot in this game. Is you're like, hey, is there anything down there that I missed? You're doing a lot of running back and forth between the corridors.
We're playing on the 360 version.
Right. So yeah, you've got the crowbar here, and sure enough, if you use the crowbar here on this spot, you get the gear that you need, and now you've got it.
All right. Maybe he could have just kept pulling skulls out of that pit because he'd done it like 15 times. Maybe he could have just emptied the pit.
I also had a really good idea where I just kept bringing the bell over and over, which I thought was a pretty good attempt at trying to solve the puzzle, but that didn't work.
Well, the bell is important, but this is the first step.
Okay.
Here we go. Whoa! Too much force, Kyle.
Bucket.
Now you got a bucket, and you can get to this little spot you can get to before and learn a little bit about the monk.
A single step. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I like those like sort of images that just tell you what's kind of going on here. So where's my bucket?
You're gonna want that bucket.
My bucket.
So what do you think you're going to do with that, Kyle?
I am gonna take it to the other place. I'm gonna take it to the other well, I think. Miller's being coy. He wants me to figure it out on my own. Oh, I'll put the crowbar.
I'll give you a little hint. I think you need to take the bucket up to the fuse box.
Okay.
Okay, you see that kind of stopped the water from dripping?
Now I don't get electrocuted and killed.
So now you got that fuse that you've needed.
So
Yeah,
that's a visual clue. You know, back in the day, adventure games, the logic didn't make a lot of sense. But this one, at least, there was a clue that there's a drip hitting the fuse box. You gotta stop that.
I mean, I gotta say, I love some of the clues that they give you in this game. Some visual cues.
Whoa!
That's a hot dog right there.
Monsters probably like hot dogs.
That is an excellent thought, Kyle.
Thanks, Miller.
So you can see there's a pretty causal, direct relationship between one part of the puzzle and the next. And once you get the first thread of it, it's often pretty. It often kind of makes sense. I think they're gonna want you to have that hot dog actually out there. So pick it.
Oh, no, don't ring the bell.
You hungry, boy?
Okay. Oh, do I hold it here?
I think getting it onto that pit of spikes is what you need.
Oh, okay.
So it's gonna.
I see what you're gonna do.
I think I got it.
You're gonna make a
see.
skewer. Kyle, no!
Oh, I thought I could jump. I thought I could jump and drop it.
I thought you could just kind of put it down there, but maybe you have to get real close.
Oh, that's I had
There
to
you
hit.
go.
I had to hit the action button.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had
Okay,
to
I
use
got
action.
Nice
All
toss,
right.
Kyle. Now, get him! Get him!
What are you doing, children?
There's no fuse there right now. So
No, what about the
Oh
wiener?
gosh! All right, we got all right.
Creature got the wiener. Now what do we
Creature
do?
got the wiener.
So you're gonna have to line this whole thing up. So
I
you're
got
gonna
it.
need to get another hot dog first.
All right.
And a fuse.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take
Take
this
one
guy's,
guy to get
yeah,
the hot
he's gonna
dog.
get the hot dog because
Exactly.
he's Let's see. No, I don't want a grog.
By the way, I'm gonna make "What are you doing, children?" my ringtone for my phone.
What are you doing?
True sense of
children?
panic there, Kyle.
Oh gosh.
Get rid of that grog quick.
Yeah. All right.
It's too bad there isn't a whistle button to like call over one person or two people. In that instance where you needed both of them down there to get the fuse and the wiener.
Okay. So I'm not gonna put that there quite yet because I don't want him to jump out yet. All right, Monk. It's you and me going to get the fuse.
I'm really impressed, Kyle.
Thanks, Reiner. I'm gonna bring this up in my review that I figured out the hot dog
That you
thing.
figured out the hot dog puzzle.
Yeah, my employee review.
With just a little bit of assistance from Miller.
I guess.
Overall, I think we make a pretty good team.
That's right. Well, like I said, you can have all three people join in together, which I think in many ways is sort of the way to play the game, even though you always have to kind of stay on one localized screen. It reminds me of the way I used to play games like King's Quest and Maniac Mansion and games like that, where I'd sit around with buddies.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, you know,
What are you doing, children?
Kyle, no!
Oh, God.
Way to go.
You always
right.
get him by the tail.
He always starts to run away,
Okay.
just like as part of the animation to kind of add to the drama.
I was
Yeah.
going to say, Kyle, that was
Yeah, that was
your
that was
team.
by my personal design. I wanted everyone to be nervous. You know, I
I
swear.
love it. Playing up the drama.
That's right. Yeah.
And we get a little bit more nod towards the backgrounds of the character, this time the hillbilly.
Is it always the characters you bring?
Yes.
Okay.
And it'll be different each
So
time.
you want to
we
play
can-
through it 3 times to see everything?
Yeah, so you get 3 characters each time, and the last character you'd have to double up and see with some other people.
This
And that-
room is cool, by the way.
It's cool, right? Like the cave is awesome because at first you think it's all going to be really similar. It's just like going to be a cave background, but you start to realize there's all these different locations you're
Wait
going
here
to.
for a second. What are you seeing here?
Leaning Tower Pisa.
Yeah, that's weird, right?
UFO, spaceship. Is that Titanic? There's like some bridge stuff going on in the background.
Some rich stuff?
Bridge.
Oh,
Bridge.
I was like,
Some rich stuff.
And this is sort of our point of no return here because we're going to
Those are airplanes.
send the characters down to a place they can't jump back up from, and that'll head us into the later parts of the game. So it might be a pretty good point to head out and let people who are going to play this game figure out what happens after this on their own. But think it gives a pretty good sense of what's going on in the cave.
Yeah, and Miller, I completely agree with you about this being a fun multiplayer game, whether you're just playing with one controller or you got 3 people playing. Andy and I back in the day used to play adventure games here at Game Informer all the time. Freddy Farkas, Grim Fandango, all that stuff. And it was a collective mind, effort to figure out the puzzles and just how ridiculous they got. So I'm glad Gilbert's back with Tim, and I can't wait to check this out. And what was your final verdict on this?
I gave this game a 7.75. I liked it, but I think the backtracking and the kind of confusion of running through the corridors brings it down a little bit. But nonetheless,
Like I said,
Kyle killed the monk.
killed the monk. We'll end with a bang there.
That's right.
Nonetheless, I think it's a fun game. I think it'd be fun to play as like a family or a couple friends getting together on a weekend. You got your first trinket.
Kyle, that's not true. Not true.
Oh.
We'll just give that to someone else that's not. Yeah, give it to
You
the
know
kids.
what? I'm going to go throw it in the lake, because if I can't have it, nobody can have it.
All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time on Test Chamber. Fail.